Greetings, welcome to the Heart of Jesus. My name is Sujay and I'd like to speak to you this week from the life of Mary and Martha. We read of them in Luke chapter 10 when Jesus first enters the house of Martha. In verse 39, we see that Martha has a sister named Mary who seated herself at the Lord's feet and was listening to his teaching. Now Martha, who's become busy and overly distracted with serving, complains to Jesus that she's left alone to serve and tells Jesus to have Mary help her. Jesus looks at her and tells her, there is need of only one or but a few things. Mary has chosen the good portion, which shall not be taken away from her. From this portion, we have to ask ourselves, is it possible to have Jesus present in our midst and be completely busy in our service to Him and miss an opportunity to sit at His feet and hear Him speak to us? Could we have our lives be busy and filled with religious routines that masquerade themselves as spiritual service unto Him, thinking it is done for Jesus? Yet in the midst of busyness, yet in the midst of Martha's service to Jesus, Jesus is not impressed. But Mary makes a choice. She chooses to sit at His feet and she catches the attention of Jesus. And Jesus approves of her choice. The next interaction with Mary and Martha is found in John chapter 11 from verse 17 to 44. This is the portion where Lazarus has been dead for 4 days and Jesus has just arrived. When Mary hears that Jesus has arrived, she drops everything and goes to where Jesus is. In John 11 verse 32, we read, when Mary came to the place where Jesus was and saw Him, she dropped down at His feet. This is the second time where we read that Mary drops to the feet of Jesus. We read from this moment that Jesus is moved in His spirit and then He goes on to raise Lazarus from the dead. Mary, in her moment of grief, chooses to stay by the feet of Jesus. Now the next interaction with Mary and Martha is found in John chapter 12, where Jesus enters their house and they make supper for Him. We read in verse 2 that they made Him a supper and Martha served, but Lazarus was one of those at the table with Him. This is the second moment in the Bible where we find Martha serving. What about Mary? What is her posture and where is she positioned? We read in verse 3 that Mary took a pound of ointment of pure liquid nard that was very expensive and she poured it at Jesus' feet and wiped them with her hair. Mary was found at the feet of Jesus. This moment of being at the feet of Jesus gave her the sacred moment of worshiping Him. And we find that Jesus never stops her. Those who have learned the art of sitting at the feet of Jesus are always caught up in His attention and they look for opportunities to find and remain at His feet. We find that every moment of the life of Mary, she made a choice to be found in the feet of Jesus. And that place and that posture of being at the feet of Jesus is still available for us. As we begin this new year, choose what is a better portion. Choose what will never be taken away from you. And choose to posture yourself at the feet of Jesus. May our service to Jesus be always from a place of devotion to Him. May it be always from the posture of sitting at His feet. And by His feet, may we learn from Him. May we find comfort in His presence. And may this place of His feet be a place of consecrated devotion in our lives. Until we see each other again, rest and be found at the feet of Jesus.